Hey folks, welcome back. It is the big barn build and, well, it's all rather exciting. It's looking a little bit more like a room. Stick around and I'm going to show you how we got to this stage. That way. Ooh. It's all fingers out of the way. Right, we've skipped ahead a little bit, had a quick lunch break, and we are now on to getting the stud work done for upstairs. So that side is the French windows, which is now pretty much ready. It just needs to be lined out with the OSB. And then in this bay here, it's nearly all just a solid stud wall with a small 500 by 800 window for an ensuite. And we've taken the boards on the side walls up to the second course, and then we're going to make a decision on how we insulate that steel before we go any higher. So it's looking more and more like a room. Right, stud wall all done up there. We're going to now get a load more boards cut. This is the vent board. It's slightly different actually. I'll show you on this wall. Before we were using the Medite vent board, which is the 12.5mm breathable kind of sarking board, sheathing board. This is made by Egger, and I just picked them up in an auction. They'll come off a site or left over from a job, and got them really cheap, but actually we prefer them. They're tongue and groove, so you don't have to end on a stud each time. They're slightly bigger, and they're also 15mm. So yeah, go for the German look. They're all marked up centres, but these centres, can't remember what we worked out, 625. It says CC span, centre to centre, and it's either 833mm or 625. One of you clever people will know what that is designed for. Anyway, we're going to get onto the angled wall now. Right, pigs fed, cows milked, chickens chased. We're back on it. Let me show you what you missed yesterday. Well, you didn't miss it. It's just we were speeding through time-lapse stuff. Today we're going to start on something a whole lot different. So it almost looks like we've got a new box in the corner of the room now, because this is the component which forms the garden room, all these walls. And inside, well, we moved all the furniture in from the various places around the barn to free up some space. There we go. So that is our indoor garden space. We've got the French windows up top, so that's the master bedroom, looking out down onto here, but the whole idea is you can actually see through to outside as well. We've got a little bathroom window up there for the ensuite, and the rest of this is an internal wall, but it's just the backside of our 300mm stud wall. Getting a bit gloomy in here, but today it's all about getting some of this OSB on, so we're starting in the snug. So plan in here is to get these OSB boards up on the wall. They're going to be stood vertically, 600 centres. The blocking up there catches the top of the boards. There's a little bit more to go in over there. And then all of these voids will be left empty, ready for the insulation to get blown in afterwards. I haven't gone into it in too much detail yet. And there was a bit of misunderstanding. It sounded like we're using spray foam or something like that. It's not, it's actually a recycled paper fibre insulation that gets blown in under pressure. And what they do, because it's densely packed in there, rather than having a membrane, it's better to have a rigid board, otherwise it can kind of push out on that membrane. So we have the board on the outside, the vent board, OSB on the inside, then they come along with a hole saw, I don't know, 60, 70mm, drill that, and then they get their nozzle in, and then it's fired down and twisted around, and they fill the whole thing. It's loose as it goes in, but as it compacts under pressure, it forms almost like a bat of insulation. You could take the board off, and it was unlikely to all fall out. It's not like polystyrene beads or something like that. And there's various ways that they can test to make sure that they're filling everything. Anywhere that's tricky or not a straightforward void, we're hand filling. So you can see just above the lintel there, Tom's put a bit of rock wool in up there. Also around the seals, we've done with PIR and a little bit of mineral wool, whatever, to just fill all those little nooks and crannies. The rest of it, straightforward. Right, the boards are going up, so that is the far end of the snug done. We're going to leave some of the boards long if it makes sense to do so, and then we'll use the router and just flush cut them to the opening. We were going to board over all these windows, but for the time that it's going to be like this, I don't think it makes any sense. If it was going to be up for a year or something before the windows went in, it'd be different. We're going to just keep it open, and then it's easier for when we can carry on and batten, and when the insulation goes in, we can see exactly where all these openings are. So we're coming along to this wall now, which should be much more straightforward. Vertical boards, everything's 600 centres apart from the end one. Right, all a bit dusty. Time for an update. It's looking a bit different. We've now managed to get the first course of boards up all the way along the back south wall now. Wait till you see the snug. This is our corner lounge. Gone for a green theme, clearly. So most of these we just cut to the size rather than board over and route. This one's a little bit long because it was just a full board. So I'll just get a route a bit, cut that out. And over here, same again, I think this is an 1800 window, so it's a little bit long. Each side will just zip around. And then that just means we've got a really neat finished corner. And we'll use our airtight tapes, I think, maybe 60mm, maybe 75mm tapes for the corners here. So it'll be folded over, seal all that nicely. And then the tapes will run up every join between boards. So the spec for this particular product is the same as the outside boards, which is 150mm centres around the perimeter and then 300 centres up the middle. Because we've got 600 centres, there's only one middle stud. So quite a lot of nails, but getting through it. And of course, as soon as you put that on, this wall just becomes absolutely solid because there's no chance of racking, and it just makes the whole thing feel far more building-like rather than a shed for being framed up. So that is how we're going to park it for now. We're going to get up next week or the week after and get the next layer up, which is going to be a sheet and a little bit as it gets taller. Most of this is being insulated by pump, but there are some small cavities or bits around the steel which we're insulating ourselves. Elsewhere, we have just written on the board if there was a little 100mm gap between two studs, we filled those already. I've also taken photos of all the walls prior to the green boards going up. That way I'll print all those out and the installers of the insulation can reference those when they come to each section. They can see, okay, that's a 600 wide stud all the way up. We can just blow straight in there. Otherwise there's some blocking in these, so they'll have to blow into above the window and below the window, obviously. And then through into what is a bit of a sunny garden room now. We'll skip through here because this is, well, nothing needs to happen in there for a while. So we've got about half an hour left. We're just going to start on some boards here. There's some additional insulation got to go in around the steels. So we're just going to work up to a point and then stop, carry on. So just full boards at the moment, so we can just fire them straight in. Well, there we go. It's been a busy week, and this is the only bit of natural light I've got in the building now. But it's quite exciting. It feels, well, it feels a little bit like a house in this one part of the building. Certainly less cowshed-like, and hopefully it's going to continue in the right direction. Now we're starting to board out the other rooms around the place. I mean, I couldn't do it alone. Big shout out to Tom, because he's the unsung hero at the moment, and he's really pushing it forward, because to be honest, if he wasn't showing up on a Monday, Tuesday and a Wednesday, I'd probably get distracted by all sorts. So getting stuck in and keeping going on this boarding is great. Lots to do, but we thought we'd bring in some of this furniture just so, well, it was out of the way, because it's been moved about 10 times already. I am so chuffed to see it like this. It feels a little bit more home-like. Obviously we chucked the furniture in here because it was getting in the way elsewhere in the building. Yeah, it's really cool. Thanks for all the comments over on Instagram yesterday. people are as pleased as I am to get to this stage. Lots to do still. It's all just temporary sheeting over there, nothing finished, but it's just got that structure to it. Kind of, you can see the space a bit more now. And while we've uncovered it for now, and we will be putting the sheets back down at some point soon, our next video is probably going to be the concrete video, because I've done a video all about the polished concrete floor, what it costs, why we went that route, and also the savings we made by going a more of a DIY route. Of course, we had help actually installing the concrete, but the steps that are involved in it, getting it to a polished concrete, colour hardened floor, and getting the next stages done, hopefully we're going to be doing that ourselves, and it led to quite a significant saving. So that will be the next video coming up on the channel. If you've got any questions on anything else today, I know I tried to cover some of the detail of the timber framing on the last video, but just let us know down in the comments. I'll try and answer them down there. I'm going to need to get out and do some evening chores, so I'm going to go and warm my hands up on a cup of tea and then crack on. Hopefully you're enjoying this as much as I am. I'm enjoying it, I promise. But thank you to all of you for being loyal followers of this over the winter months and keeping us going, because it's pretty hard. I need a bit of evening sun to kick me back into gear. But hopefully, you know, things are moving in the right direction, and we'll be repaying you with lots more content and first floors. Can't wait to get a floor up. Anyway, I get distracted. Thank you for watching. Remember, if you can, do it yourself, and we'll see you next time.